Hey everybody, welcome back to Astronaut Lounge. I'm Poppa Stonks, and today we have Venom. Venom is an ERC token, hyper-deflationary with different rewards tiers, very unique. First I've really ever seen this. I'm going to pass it off to Slimer, Crypto Slimer, if you want to introduce yourself and anybody else on the team that's going to be speaking. Um, please introduce yourselves, and then we'll start talking about the project a little bit.
Thanks a lot, Papa. Really great to be here. Thank you to all your community members who are taking the time out of their day to listen to us, to me and my team. Really appreciate it, because everything is about the community. Communities first. I'm Crypto Slimer. I'm the founder of Venom. I started my career in the financial markets in 2000 as an institutional equity trader on the New York Stock Exchange. Fast forward to 2017, once I left the equity markets, I discovered crypto and started the whole Crypto Slimer brand on Twitter. Some of you may know me. And so now, fast forward 6 years, as of last year, I decided to start my own project because I was just fed up with all the nonsense that the community was being subjected to. And for the past 8, 9 months, we've been working on Venom and creating one of the most kick-ass projects with one of the most amazing teams that I think is around. So yeah, that's me. I'd like to pass it off to my right-hand man right now, Mr. Lightspeed. Go for it, brother.
Hey guys, how's it going? Mr. Lightspeed here, and I am the senior advisor for the project. Basically, I whisper into Slimer's ear and encourage him to do certain things and just give him crap on other things. But no, I am very happy to be a part of the project and supporting him. My role started on day 0 with him as he started to formulate the ideas. And my part was to help him build a dream team. So all the other members that you see coming in here, with the exception of Brian, who also was here at the very beginning, are a bit of a product of that. I'm just very excited to be talking to you. I myself have been a CEO of a token project myself, so I've been sliced, diced, and made into julienne fries. I know what it feels like to be perforated and raked through the coals by communities, and as well as be praised when you're at the all-time high. So I am here to share all my lessons learned for Slimer so that he is set up for success. We had a great successful private raise. We're going into this public raise here on 10 May, so we would like to earn your patronage. So more to follow, and I'll hand it off the mic to who's next. Brian?
Marshmallow Man, let him go. Let him go next.
Your thing.
Don't let me go.
Great.
I'll go after Marshmallow. It's not a big deal.
You gave the rest of the anime to Marshmallow Man. That's what you just did.
All right, fine. I'll introduce myself. Hey, how's it going, people? I'm Brian. I'm Venom's core manager. I've been with Venom since, if I'm not mistaken, mid-September to late September of 2022, when we really started doing like the pre-planning and coordinating for the project. And basically what I've done is I've helped coordinate our team and get out deliverables and work behind the scenes for people to make sure we got everything done on time. And we had a long time to work on our branding and contract and all of our concepts and things like that. So it's been a long bit, but I'm really excited about what we're doing. And, I've been, stressing, equitability and things like that, within the project and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we're built on. And yeah.
Awesome. All right, Marshmallow Man. Give yourself a brief introduction, sir.
Brief. I don't think I understand that word, but I'll try. Okay. Right. I need professional mode. I need to do this. Okay. Hey guys, I'm Marshmallow Man. For all intents and purposes, that is the only name that you will ever know me by. I have my reasons for that. There's a lot of crazies in DeFi. I have a family, and I have never needed to dox to prove what I'm all about. I kind of jumped into DeFi with a token named Paddycoin, obviously because I'm Irish. Fun fact, that token appeared on my wife's Instagram. SRE background, always kind of want to know how things work, what makes them tick, what's good, what's bad, what's ugly, who uses it for good, bad, ugly, all that sort of stuff. Spent about a year kind of diving deep into it, calling out bad code, calling out functions that don't need to exist, that can be used in bad ways at any time. I think I got banned from thousands of Telegram rooms. Do not regret it one bit. Saved a few hundred people from serious rugs, but you know, DeFi is DeFi. It's the Wild West. It is what it is. Eventually, I kind of said, that's not enough. You need to do more. You need to prove it. So I started building my own contracts with my own kind of customized antibot. As much as I can, completely block bots altogether. The only way to do that is through using shady, unverified contracts, which is not what I'm about. So I just went about proving that you don't need blacklist, you don't need this, you don't need that, you don't need any of these functions that a project owner can take at any time and just say, hey, do you know what, screw it, I give up, and fuck everybody over in code. You don't need it, and I've proved it 50, 60, 70 times at this point. And I guess I kind of have a name in the space as a severely safe dev, and you know, some people hate it, some people like it, but it is what it is. And yeah, that's pretty much me. I'm probably going to talk a lot more once Slimer unleashes me on the specifics of Venom. There's a lot in it, but I'll shut up for now.
Awesome, man. And I know, you know, once we start talking about how this actually works, we will be hearing a lot more from you. So let's go back to Slimer. So Slimer, what made you come up with this idea for Venom, and how did you guys get together to start working on this?
Well, here's the thing, right? The whole genesis of my vision for this project started last year, 2022, when things were looking really bleak for this market. I mean, I think Bitcoin was at like 15,000, 16,000. Everyone was investing in like 30 different variations of Suka. And then we saw all these Japanese themed meme coins, and no one, they were just popping up like instantly. There was just this one team dev projects that were just churning out these contracts, just copycats of each other, and there was no originality. The projects were starting out with like $4,000 in liquidity, and people were just able into this nonsense and just getting murdered. And it was just such an ugly scene. And you know, the colleagues that I was surrounded were looking at each other like, "Is this what we're investing in, man? Like, what are we doing? It's like this is just an ugly market." And I was like, and I had this thing. I was like, I think the whole community deserves better than what's out there. I was like, where's the quality? I mean, where's the originality? Where's the uniqueness? I mean, I think we could do better. So I was just like, originally pre-Venom, I was like, let me start with an idea for a meme coin for like adults, for like a sexy meme coin for people that never liked meme coins. I want to create a project for people that never liked meme coins but eventually get into it. And then eventually I just started thinking, okay, let's think a little further on this. And I was like, let's make a project that could have a reward the community and just as robust as possible in the most unique way. And I just was like, the community deserves better. I linked up with Lightspeed, and he brought in some amazing guys like Marshmallow, and we was like, it has to be unique. It has to be something that, you know, I would be proud of releasing to the community, and that's what really spawned it. It was just like doing something that, you know, the community would be proud to be part of, and I would be proud of being a founder of, because I was just so tired of all the bullshit that was out there. So I just wanted to make something that was attractive, sexy looking on the front end, but unique and different on the back end, because that's where all these projects were lacking, was just something as robust, and, you know, there was no quality. So I really just needed to bring quality back into the space. And therefore, you know, quality takes time. And like I said, we've been working on Venom for going on 9 months now, as we're heading into our launch this month. So yeah, I had the vision, I had the general ideas, but I needed a dream team who could execute on this vision, master technicians in their field, who are masters of executing on all of the technicalities that go into this project. And I think we really achieved something here, because I'm getting DMs left and right from people saying, hey, you know, this project looks amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Really excited to be part of the community. And that's great. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. People saying this is something unique and original. And I think you just mentioned it earlier, Poppa, something with unique reward system. That's all I wanted to do, was to shed like a breath of fresh air into this market space for you guys, for everyone listening here. And that's what Venom's all about, the community first. And it's all about quality.
100%, man. So let's talk about let's get into. So you guys just completed a private raise, which thank you for giving my community some whitelist spots for that. I think we
Thank you.
filled the tail end. We filled the tail end of it. So there was what, 77 ETH raised on that?
Yeah, 77 ETH, about $144,000 in ETH was raised in 2.5 days. And that, you know, that was amazing, because honestly, we didn't have a huge marketing effort, a huge marketing campaign where we had millions of callers going off left and right on Telegram or Twitter. It was nothing. It was really just like an organic movement within our community for the most part. And that's exactly what we're all about. So, you know, but don't get me wrong, we do have a marketing budget. We do have a big marketing plan going forward for the public sale and for the launch. But yeah, that was great. It was one of GenPad's biggest private sales this year, from what I understand. So it was really amazing.
Yeah, and they gave you guys a nice shout out on Twitter as well. Now, with that private sale, how much of that is, you know, what is that being used for? That's going to be used for development, marketing.
Yeah, marketing, paying contractors, things like that. Previous expenses, because a lot, you know, a lot of funds went into this, believe it or not, and
Hmm.
so paying for that. So, but now a chunk of that's got to go into the marketing, get ready for our public sale on May 10th on GenPad. So, because we have a pretty
Yep.
substantial hard cap set for that. So yeah.
Do you want to touch on the how the private sale is being vested?
For the private sale vested, it's also the same as the public sale. We're going to have 20% unlocked at the TGE, and then 20% for the next 4 months, which I think we hit that sweet spot because we did got a lot of feedback from our ambassadors and our team saying, you know, what would be the best vesting schedule in that regards. And most people were like, yeah, 20% is great. Because originally going forward, when we started this, we were thinking 10% for 10 months. And we're like, yeah, that's too little. You know, let's not put up to 20%. That's like the sweet spot, because so many projects make mistakes of just, you know, doing no vesting at all and just unlocking everything. And that turned into a mess, as you guys know. So I
Yeah.
think we have a pretty good system in place for a
And
Venomnomic.
so with the public sale, how much are you guys looking to raise? What is, you know, is there a soft cap, hard cap, no cap?
I don't remember. I forgot what the soft cap is, but I think the hard cap is 288,000. Soft cap is 166, guys, if I'm not mistaken.
You're in the ballpark. Yeah, between
Yeah,
140 to 280.
right. So it's a little
Okay.
bit, and we reduced that. So we're starting off. Our market cap's going to be at launch based on the 22% that will be in circulation. It will be 198,000 market cap. So that's also a nice figure for all you market cap fetishists out there.
So
And
what
because
percentage?
because we're
I was
also
going.
vetted by GenPad, it's a requirement, and it's in their launch smart contract that 51% of the raise goes into LP. So this will be a chunky LP to really hold up when we go into launch. So we're definitely not going to be holding back on that.
Yeah, definitely. If you're raising, 200, if you do hit hard cap and you raise 200 some thousand, you've got 100K going in right into LP. And with the
Yeah,
You bet
vesting,
$141,500. So because our hard cap is $283,500.
now when they normally do these hard caps and soft caps, it would be the amount in ETH, right? Not the dollar amount.
yeah, correct. Yeah,
So I guess you would have to take into account the actual price of
The
ETH
actual
at the
price of
time.
ETH.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
Everything subject to
you
the
know
price of
if you
Ethereum.
launch and ETH is at 2K, that's going to be a little bit more. So
but getting back to your
um,
original point about the whole project, Papa, it's like I really think this is like a hybrid of everything. Like a lot of people like, what is Venom? What is it? It's not a meme coin because obviously top to bottom, if you look at it on paper, there's just so much more going on with this project that you can't just label it as one of these other bullshit projects that everyone else is investing on the Ethereum blockchain. And I'm not going to name names, but obviously they're just running on hype. But if you look at what's going on in the back end with us, all the features within this project, just our whole Viper system in general, the Venom injections plus X reward system, the multipliers, the antidote, tax incentives, holder protection, true burn, automatic inject, blah, blah, blah. I can go on and on. It's like when I started these AMAs, Papa, there was like 7 pages of notes for this project. So it's like, and you know what? And those other projects that are running on hype, they're at the luxury where they don't have to do AMAs because it's just hype. When you just run on hype, you don't have to. But, we got to prove our worth. And people are actually recognizing the quality that's being put into Venom right now and what sets us apart from all the other nonsense that people are investing on. So we just can't wait to launch. I'm very excited about talking this. Sorry.
no, yeah, of course, man, you should be excited. Now, you want to tell me or tell everybody what exactly, what utilities are you going to have at launch, and how much still needs to be built?
We could go in on the our contract functions right now, utilities within that, within the multipliers. Um, So let me touch on that. Let me just start on that. So the multiplier system is you're going to get automatic 2% Venom injections as soon as you invest right with Venom. That's 2% right off the bat. After 7 days, that's going to kick into 3 times the amount of injections. We call the reflections injections, by the way, just clear that up. So you're going to after 7 days, you're going to get 3 times the amount of Venom injections. This is all about holding. You keep holding, you're going to get rewarded. Hold and get rewarded. The longer you hold, the higher those multipliers go up. After 14 days, that goes from 3x, okay, to 5x. After 21 days, it goes to 7 times the amount of normal Venom injections you would normally get, okay? And how do you get these injections? We're going to have our beautiful DApp, VDApp, which will be being released 7 days after launch, and you'll be able to claim all your rewards on that if you're not too savvy with Etherscan and claiming using that platform. But yeah, that's one of the ways where we're rewarding them. And then, Marshall, you want to take over with with the whole poison tax,
Are you
the whole
sure you want
protection?
me to take
Yeah,
Yeah,
over?
you go for it. Because
yeah.
like I said,
Well, first,
I can give it down to general, but he does the refining of everything. So he'll just break it down as far as our tax incentives, the poison tax, The 0% tax feature we have for anyone who buys 50 million tokens or more and you hold for 24 hours, every buy you make after that is going to be 0% tax. I mean, there's just so much going on with this. It's like, I could talk about it, but Marshmallow will break it down. I set him up, and he'll knock him down.
All right, let's go, Marshall.
Okay, fair enough. First things first, I'm gonna address the elephant in every room we end up in, which is you know, the concern of being dumped on by private and public sale, which just cannot happen here. Again, as Slimer mentioned, it's a 20% release per month. So people can look at this and say, oh, you know, the private sale guys, they got in early. They got, you know, a serious benefit on the price or whatever else. And they're just going to kind of dump as soon as they can. No, that's just not the case here. The reality, like, I've been around this space for a long time, and I can tell you that as soon as you turn around to someone and say, okay, I'm going to introduce vesting, the people that are actually going to dump on you will run. They will run away. They will run far. And we proved it in the private sale. We have a room with 300 odd people in it. And what was there? Give or take 80 addresses that actually contributed and filled this private sale, 77 Ethereum worth of a private sale. I can tell you for a fact that if you want to build a solid floor, it needs to be made up of people that are willing to invest a not small amount of money and only receive 20% of that per month in tokens. That is a real floor, no matter what way you look at it. Public sale, same thing, same release, 20% and 20% per month. You cannot be dumped on because they do not have the tokens to dump on you, even if you buy the launch. And if that doesn't sell you on the basics that everyone is always concerned about, I, as a developer of this token, I have no tokens. I am not in the private sale. I am not in the public sale. I got paid for code in BUSD or Ethereum or whatever the hell else Slimer wanted to throw at me. I'm going to buy the launch. I'm not going to buy the private sale. I'm not going to buy the public sale. I'm going to buy the launch. And I'm going to do it for a reason, because I know for a fact that I cannot be dumped on. And that has to be pointed out, because everybody in this space is afraid of the same thing, being dumped on. You cannot be dumped on when the floor is made up of, and I kid you not, 78%, give or take, of all of the Venom tokens at launch will be locked. Whether it's the tokens that are due to be paid out in the private sale 1, 2, 3, 4 months later, public sale, same thing, team tokens, everything else. And again, I'm not even part of the team tokens. 78% of all of Venom supply will be locked up at launch. Full stop. You cannot be dumped on. It's just that simple. Now, the only reason I've gone on this whole spiel to explain that is because this question just keeps popping up. And I feel like it needs a technical answer, and that is the answer. The reality is the math just doesn't support it. Now I'm gonna jump into the technicalities of the token itself. Look, I talk a lot on this stuff. I try to keep it as simple as I can. I pride myself on my ability to explain things to any audience. By all means, if you come off of this AMA and you don't understand something, and you jump into the project and you don't understand any specific technical element, I am actively present. I'm the lead developer of the token, but I am actively present on the Telegram. I will answer any and all technical questions. Whether you DM me, whether you just mention me in the Telegram chat, whatever it may be. If you have a question that needs a technical answer, I will answer it. Now,
Well, let's before you start going off, because I know how you can. Um, let me ask some targeted questions real quick. Okay, so I'll just target these. So the tokenomics itself, you said 78% is going to be locked. All right, so where are the rewards coming from? The reflections coming from that are being paid out, and how is that kept sustainable?
okay, that's a very good question and a very common question at the same time. So essentially, when no, I'm not going to go into the background. I'm going to try and speed this up a little bit. What we are doing is we are using a quote unquote rewards system to reflect tokens. It's not your standard reflections where X amount of tokens are taken in tax and distributed among holders. It's not that. What it is a rewards or reward system that rewards the token. And what we call that is injections. Now, that's not new. That's been done before, and that's not the custom element of this project. The custom element of the project is everything else that goes into that. So what we do is that we have the dividend tracker that's taking a tax consistently. Because it's a tax, that answers the consistency measure. It's like, how is it sustainable? It's sustainable because it's funded from tax. And even if tax doesn't come into the equation, we as a team can fund the tracker if we want. So what you have is essentially a reward system that rewards the token, that makes it reflections. We call that injections. But the way that it does it is in a queued fashion. It's not paying out every X amount of hours. It's not paying out based on X amount of transactions. It's in a queued fashion. So all of these taxes get sent to the dividend tracker. As long as the dividend tracker has Ethereum, it will continue to try and process those injections over and over and over and over. Whether it's a straight green line, it will keep adding more green to that. Whether it's a straight red line going down, it will try to offset that by creating a green trend. It's going to keep buying the token. And the key there is that it's buying the token. So when you look at the chart, you will actually see every single time an injection happens, you will see the buy. It will buy the tokens and it will reward them or inject them to your holders. Then we introduce multipliers. Now, and this is the main reason that people keep asking, well, how is this sustainable? It's sustainable because it's math. It's the dividend tracker. What I do to give your 3x, 5x, 7x multipliers is I lie to the dividend tracker. So the dividend tracker is its own contract. When we deployed the Venom contract, that contract deployed another contract. Now, some people might say, oh, well, then how can I see the code for the other contract? It's all in the main contract because you couldn't deploy another contract without having the code for it in the main contract. And that's why the contract is, not the smallest in the world. That's just how it is, because it's actually multiple contracts that are deploying each other. So, in essence, what I do is, if you buy the tokens and you hold them for 7 days, 14 days, 21 days. The dividend tracker contract will mint you 3 times, 5 times, or 7 times the amount of tokens you're holding. Now, if you want to actually see this in real time, you can go into the dividend tracker contract and you can add that to your wallet as well. And at all times, you will see that if you qualify for a multiplier and you've activated it, you will have 3 times, 5 times, or 7 times the amount of Venom tokens in Venom tracker tokens. It is its own token. It's a tracker token that's used to determine your percentage of the injection pool, essentially. So if you have those people that actually hold on long enough to get that 7 buy, their percentage of the pool for injection payouts increases 7-fold. That's just a full stop. And the reality is not a lot of people will do that, but for those who do, they will see serious benefits. Why is that kind of, or sorry, how can that last long term? It's because I'm not actually doing anything that requires more funding. It never was. It did not require more funding. We can fund it if we want. Manually, we can send Ethereum, as much Ethereum as we want, to that contract. In fact, I have a function in the contract that will allow us at any time to rain injections on people. So let's say the dividend tracker has 2 Ethereum and, volume is slow. We can go into the contract at any time and manually just put in 5 million gas, and it will use 5 million gas to pay as many people as it can. These are all controls. Ethereum is not a chain that is gas friendly historically, and that had to be taken into account. When you have a reward system on Ethereum, it just doesn't play well. So on one end, I have an adjustable. So there is a fixed cost to processing these injections. By default, that's 300,000 gas. If that proves to be too high, which based on my tests, it tends to be $2-3 above average, shouldn't be too bad. But if people complain, we can lower that. We can actually lower the amount of gas that's used to process injections. But the thing is, as long as volume keeps going, as a general rule, buys, sells, or anything else, it will keep paying out. It's not going to stop paying out until it runs out of Ethereum, and that's just full stop. If we want to manually intervene, there's too much Ethereum in the dividend tracker. Okay, we'll pay 5 million gas, and the next 60 people in the queue are going to get their injections. It's just that simple. Then we move on to the tax-based incentives, and I needed to tie this in because traditional rewards, again, Ethereum. Everybody hates the gas on Ethereum, and I get it. I do. I hate it myself. I said it to Slimer many times. When he turned around to me and said, "Oh, we want to launch on Ethereum," I was like, the gas is going to kill you. But Slimer, it does remain a fact. Ethereum is the dominant EVM chain. It does the most volume. And if used correctly, it can result in a serious token. But you need to consider all these facts when you're introducing a system that has traditionally been just not played nice with the chain at all. So on the one side, we have gas control. We can control the amount of gas that's used at any time. On the other side, we can actually pay that gas ourselves to reduce the amount of Ethereum in the dividend tracker and prevent it from constantly processing injections automatically, which are investors paying gas. But then the tax system comes into it. So, and Slimer mentioned this, one of our core things was we wanted to not only incentivize people to hold in taxes and the tax structure, but to punish them for selling large amounts of tokens. So on one end of that, what we have is if you buy X amount of tokens, now I say X amount because the default is 0.05% of supply, but we can alter that as needed as the price changes. Obviously that's going to be needed. But once you buy that amount and you hold for 24 hours, after that, every single DCA that you make, if the chart goes down and you say, oh, do you know what, instead of selling, I'm just going to buy more and try and make my profit that way, 0% tax, full stop. It's just 0% tax across the board until you either sell tokens or transfer wallet to wallet. If you do one of those things, you lose those benefits. If you do not do those things, you do not lose those benefits. It's the same with the multipliers. If you do not sell and you do not transfer wallet to wallet, you will not lose those benefits. And the kicker to this is that we have staking built in. So you have your APY from your staking contract, but you also have a staking contract that tracks your rewards. So Matt from True DeFi, I've worked with him many times, and Mighty from Bit Valley, again, I've worked with these guys many, many times. They worked really hard on their side of all of this, the staking contract, and props to them. Like, honestly, props to them to be able to take what I've built and kind of extend it in the way that they have. It's insane work, but it worked out. We now have a staking contract in that if you stake tokens, if you stake 50% of the tokens that you own and the other 50% remain in your wallet, it doesn't matter because the staking contract has its own distributor that tracks who has staked what amount of tokens and pays their injections. As soon as you remove your tokens or whatever it may be, you get everything that is due to you on those staked tokens. So it doesn't matter where your tokens are, whether they're in your wallet or whether they're staked, you are constantly getting your injections. Not only are you constantly getting your injections, you're getting the multipliers. The staking contract also has the multipliers. So at the end of the day, you're getting your injections, you're getting your multipliers, you're getting your staking APY, no matter where those tokens are. Whether they're staked, whether they're in your wallet, it does not matter. The only difference is, to get the APY, they obviously have to be staked, which, if you do stake them, results in more tokens locked.
And one of the things that helps, people ask where all the tokens come from, how this is all add up. There's lots of tokens that don't get reflected as well. So you're not going to get reflections on the liquidity pool, obviously, but the marketing reserves that we have aren't going to get reflections. I've seen projects collect their own reflections. We're not going to do that. Team's not going to get theirs that are locked away. So that increases the ratio for everyone else. Liquidity reserve.
That's a good call out as well. I specifically told them, do not include like Lightspeed must hate me at this point for all the instructions I've given them. But at the end of the day, it was all necessary. We do not want any of our contracts. We do not want any of our wallets, team wallets, marketing wallets, dev wallets, whatever it may be. We do not want them included in the injection pool. They are not included. They will not be included. The only thing that is included is the staking contract. And the reason that that's included is because it will take every single injection that's given to it and then distribute those injections to the people who own it. So
I do have a question, real quick. So the people that are vested, they're getting 20% a month for 5 months. Do they qualify for their whole bag to receive those injections, or is it
No, they
just
don't.
on the 20% that they hold?
Yeah, 20%. It's entirely down to the address holding it. And as long as the Genpad contract is holding tokens, it too is exempt. So they will only get their injections on the 20% that they've claimed, and then the additional 20% per month.
I guess one way you could look at it is the ratios also increase for the remaining tokens that are freely circulating. And we also included the discount on the price to accommodate. I spent so much time on spreadsheets and calculators to accommodate, what would be the price differential versus reflections. And so so for those who come in at the public sale are going to get a 10% discount to the price. And I think that's going to be enough to make up for some of those reflections in the early part of the project. Because you'll get your next 20%, so you'll be up to 40% rather quickly in the first 4 weeks. And then from there, everything should be breaking even.
And let's not forget the very simple fact that even if you buy the private or public sale, there's nothing to stop you buying the launch too. At the end of the day,
Right.
you are the master of your own.
I think you cut out there for a second. So my question is, with this being a deflationary token through burn and a lot of the supply locked, is there any worry about running out of tokens? I mean, if you're offering 7x the amount of tokens that you're holding and say everybody holds, where are you going to be able to pull, future tokens from if the liquidity pool is empty?
You gotta remember that every time someone buys or sells, the multipliers reset. So if you were on a 3x or 5x or 7x and you were to sell or transfer to another wallet, you no longer get that multiplier anymore. It resets to 2% automatically. So that's one way. And it also takes 21 days of holding without taking profit for you to be able to claim a 7x. So that's another thing. Also, there's a few things.
We've got 18 decimal points is where I was going to point mathematically. Theoretically, the point of you selling out is astronomically rare event. We would be at maximum. I mean, we would be at such a tremendously high market cap. I probably would be celebrating this event. We would all be retiring, and we wouldn't be caring if we completely ran out of tokens at this point. So that's how I see it.
All this is built on time, so it will take a long time for us to actually deplenish the entire 100 million supply. Even if someone were to try to, do a whole bunch of max transactions, which I think is set up right now 0.05% on launch, and that's going to fluctuate as well.
And they'll be releasing every 30 days by smart contracts. So the smart contracts on the release, people come and claim it. They can play the gas game themselves. If they want to wait 2 cycles before claiming to save on some gas, they can. I know some people have already strategized that they're going to try to save on some Ethereum gas. Now, these smart contracts are going to really shine if they increase capacity on Ethereum, for sure.
Yeah, I guess my question was kind of more hypothetical. If everybody decided to diamond hand this, then the contract is just going to keep buying and distributing the remaining
That is
supply.
that is a very lofty notion. I love it. I'd love if everyone just diamond handed this and we just sold out over 22%, but that's not going to happen. But I like the idea that it fluctuates. And also we have the contract with the dividend tracker that does continue to collect ETH and will, whether manually or whether automatically, or if we want to do it manually, make sure the chart moves. So that's something that I personally don't think is ever going to happen is us like actually running out of tokens. But if that were to ever happen, I'd like
the flexibility to release more into
Right.
the system. You can release some.
Yeah.
too.
So what is the total supply going to be?
100 billion.
100 billion. And how much, you said 28% of that is going into liquidity?
Yes. Also, we have a max wallet too of 1.5%.
51% of the race will go into liquidity. So you're looking at about 140,000 of Ethereum worth of Ethereum on one side of the equation. We'll max it with tokens.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, which is about 16 billion or so. And so that when you go to DEX tools, you'll see a total for the pair in the 300,000 range, give or
Right.
take. Everything's subject to fluctuations, so it'll be a chunky LP pool.
Yeah,
And Poppy,
and a lot of
you
people
gotta
don't
remember
understand that.
Yeah, they're getting multiplier rewards on the injections, right? Not on their total bag, the multipliers. So it's 7x on their normal injections. Right?
Oh,
So,
okay. See, I was.
it's not on their bag.
I thought you were saying their whole bag was going to 7x. So like, how is this possible?
No. I was wondering where your question came from. I was like, that's not even possible. But I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. When Marshmallow explained this whole process to me, it was so intricate and sophisticated. I was like, what? They're getting 7x on their total bag, but it's on the injections, on the rewards. So that's what it is. So that 2% jumps up, right?
That's a little better.
Yeah, so after
that's
7
a little
days,
better because at first it started sounding like a rebase token. I'm like, wait a minute.
No.
Yeah, but it's nice to see the little drip that's coming get turn into a little pour. So that's how So now that you got the proportions in your mind, it's enough. It's going to be fun to watch. I think some of us are actually excited to actually watch the smart contracts function.
Yeah,
because we haven't even mentioned the fact that the smart contract is going to buy the chart to reflect to you. So
that's the antidote right there.
That is the antidote. We're going to buy the chart.
Yes.
We're going to always ensure that there's green sprinkled in this chart to do the psychological aspect of it. So that if someone does sell deeply on the chart, this is a nautical theme. I would call it a harpoon tax for the whale, but we call it, our antidote system. And the way the system works is it will buy with Ethereum. You'll see the green in the chart to disrupt that potential FOMO or got to run away from the red candle psychological effects. So we got some other aspects of the smart contract to kind of break up the psychology and to make it more fun. And so you'll always see the smart contract working on buying tokens. Because the old way of doing the liquidity, the LP generation, is that you sell tokens, right, so that the project now has Ethereum to work on the marketing wallet. So can't wait to see it working.
Right. Yeah, so there's no swap and liquefy function on this. The tax isn't being taken in the tokens and then sold to generate that Ethereum. Yeah,
we're not. Well, we got a little bit. The 2% for marketing probably does, but we don't generate any LP tokens because that in and of itself is a risk, right? Because if you're generating LP tokens, they need to be controlled. Surely we can send them to a vault to lock up, but there's still that centralization thing. So if we do add more, and I do encourage the project to add more LP as it grows to much higher market caps to kind of lock people in as a strategy, but that'll be done manually with a lock.
Okay.
So I kind of veered off a little bit from your question to check.
No, that's fine. It's fine. So we're not going to run out of tokens.
No.
The staking. What's the APY going to be on the staking, and is there going to be, a locking period for that, or any fees going into it at all?
You can stake and unstake at your leisure.
Yeah, I think that's
All
the
right.
method that we want to set up. The staking contract is actually very customizable. For example, if we wanted to set up an event and I wanted to do a 30-day high APY scenario, then we could do that. If we wanted to set it as a everlasting staking pool on a more reasonable APY, then you're looking somewhere in the, say, 10% range. It's still a great APY. That would be a sustainable APY that would last a very long time from my experience managing other staking pools. If you want to hype and create awesome events, then, those kind of APYs can be anywhere between 35 to 75%. But it all depends what you're trying to achieve.
Okay. And where are the tokens coming from? Do you have a supply allocated for the staking pool, or is that going to be paid out the same, filled the same way as the injection?
I'm sorry, say again.
The supply for the staking pool. Do you have supply allocated
Oh,
for
yes.
to fill the staking pool?
And actually, I wanted to emphasize something else. If you guys go to our EtherScan profile, I worked with the EtherScan team, and every team wallet is tagged. So you'll be able to see exactly what the purpose is of that wallet. So when you go and you look at the holders, you'll see wallets like Venom Crypto Staking Reserve Vault. And you'll see 11.5% of the entire supply is reserved for our reward ecosystem. And if you were then to go click that wallet that's labeled the Staking Reserve Vault, you will also see that it's been in the info tab that it is a 2 or 3 Gnosis vault holding that to mitigate the centralization risks. I wanted it so clear that when people navigated EtherScan and looked at our smart contract, they would even know what the purpose of the wallet was holding it. So for the reserve vault, it'll be 11.5%. It's already distributed. People can see that before launch, we are following the token distribution that we promised. The LP Reserve Vault has 16%. If you go to EtherScan right now, you look at the wallet that says LP Reserve Vault, you'll see there's 16% of the supply in it. Likewise, the Marketing Reserve Vault is 5%, and you'll see that in the wallet. Furthermore, we're going to lock the Marketing Reserve Vault for 30 days. Gempad asked if we'd be willing to do that to lock away some more supply, so that to assure the community that project controlled tokens couldn't be dumped at launch. So those will be locked on a 30-day vesting schedule.
Okay.
And Pop, I just want to thank your community, everyone who's tuning in right now. I don't know how many people are in the group right now listening, but thank you so much for listening to this AMA. I really appreciate you guys listening in. And I don't think we touched on a couple, key aspects of the project.
No, we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
With the KYC and all our audits, all that, whatever.
Yeah, we're not
So much
done
goodness.
yet.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you've got the code master, you've got Marshmallow Man that doing all this code. And so you have been audited. You want to, talk about the audit. You got an Assure KYC, and you want to tell everybody, what the kind of requirements are for those.
Yeah. And also we have like about 3 devs on our team also, besides from Marshall. He's our lead dev, but we got our contract, our staking dev, and our VDAP dev, but yeah, Marshmallow's our main man in that regards. But in regards to the auditing of all the contracts, we have all of our contracts audited: the rewarder contract, the staking contract, the smart contract, and we had to go with the best of the best in regards to the KYC and the auditing. And the auditing, we went with Interfi, who was highly recommended within the community of devs out there. And these guys don't fuck around. You know, we could have went with Certic, who's like the brand name, the big name, but basically you're just paying for a name. But people who actually take the time and to inspect your code for any possible security vulnerabilities and safety vulnerabilities, we definitely hit the ball of the park with our audit reports, which are available online if you guys want to post them in the group. But we came back with our reports came back with exemplary results as far as our audits. We had one major issue which we quickly resolved, and that issue was regarding centralization of the ownership of the contracts, which we resolved by using a Gnosis vault. So that major issue has been deleted. So yeah, we have minimal issues on that audit report. The KYC, we went with Assure, who's basically, they're the gold standard as far as KYC. We're KYC Plus in the Tier 1 region for our KYC services with Assure. These guys don't play around. You know, they had to look at me on camera with my passport, and I'm showing them the passport there in front of the camera like an idiot for like 5 seconds. But yeah, they don't play around. All of our core leads are KYC. Assure works very closely with major law enforcement agencies, including the FBI. And all of this information I'm telling you about is all available for the public to see on our website, venomcrypto.io. So yeah, man, that was the first thing that was important to us, is being totally transparent with the community, establishing trust, safety, and security. You know, going forward with this, and yeah, like I said, top to bottom, this is one of the most. I don't know. There's no other project like this that I know of out there in that regard. And this was the goal I wanted to meet, you know, with Venom. Because Poppa,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I was doing fine being as a crypto influencer, blah blah blah, with my brand since 2017. I didn't want to do a project. This shit's a lot of work. There's a lot of bullshit going on. Everyone has their hand out looking for money. And you know what I mean? Non-stop. As soon as I wake up, I'm inundated with like 20 DMs asking people asking for money. I was like, I didn't want to do this, but it's like, this was like a call to action for the community, for all your people listening right here. It's like there had to be some originality and uniqueness infused back into your community. And I think, you know, I'm very pleased, extremely pleased with what we're doing right now with Venom.
Yeah. And you know, speaking of that, you do have somebody on the team that has, you know, ran a project that you know, did very well, you know, back in the bull run. Mr. Lightspeed, if you could tell us just one thing that, you know, you learned that you were doing better from and for the people that don't know, the project was Pulley Inu.
Yep.
So what are you doing you know, differently on this project than you did on Pulley? What did you learn from Pulley that you were bringing over here?
One of the things that, for those that don't know, I didn't found Pulley. I ended up rising up from the community to become the CEO. When they advanced so fast, they realized the existing team didn't have the capacity to grow and the talent. So I did a lot of hiring and I did a lot of firing. And you hire slow and you fire fast. And it took a while to build a dream team. So day one with Slimer was all about, you're only going to be as good as your Web3 team. When you look at how projects shine, ultimately, and I invest this way personally, but I'm not going to give advice. You know, we got to use that disclaimer all the time. But I tend to invest heavily on teams if I know what they're capable of. So I wanted to make sure Slimer had rock solid teams. And for those who didn't shine, you got cut. It's how business works. We don't, when you're working on Telegram, you tend to, the Web3 culture still has a ways to go to professionalize themselves and hold themselves to be accountable. And now maybe it's my 27 years of being a combat veteran. I retired from the military, but I got a certain way I like to work. I like to see that people have some integrity in the space. And so we haven't hesitated to cast off anyone who may not be carrying their weight for the team. So that was, I think, the biggest contribution I have tried to make was to ensure he had quality team members. And I'm exceptionally proud of what Marshmallow Man and the other developers have done. Our graphics artist is amazing. If you go to our website, it's custom artwork. I've even seen these guys deliberate for a couple of weeks on the logo. The high quality, so a lot more quality built into this. And then my final piece, I do a lot of listing work. So on my side, part of what I do, I'm the president of Lightspeed Crypto Services. I do a lot of listings and whatnot and consulting, and I get people on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, and dozens of other sites. I've already built the APIs for circulation and total supply. So we are going to report the moment we go live on any of these data aggregators we get listed on, our supply numbers. And then on Etherscan, you see all the transparency. Very few projects have been able to convince Etherscan prior to launch to load up all the data, because Etherscan wants to see your project actually live and moving and being successful. And so we proved to them we've already gotten some adoption. So they tagged all our vaults for us, and I thought that was pretty cool. So there you go.
Yeah.
Those are three.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And yeah, I remember, actually knew some of the original team that was on fully, and very, very good job firing them. That's for sure.
Yep. And then from there, we made big moves, and we went up to, I think we were zooming up to 14.5 million market cap. Then, and that was right after Ukraine. So I was already flying out to sign a contract to get listed on a decentralized exchange. People were like going, Ukraine just got invaded and you're going to go do something. The market's going to tank. I said, look, I'm already going to make this listing happen, and I'm going to do this in public. And our chart kept going up even after that. And we still continue to go up when Luna, the first crash.
Yeah.
But after that, there would have been, we could have poured hundreds of thousands of dollars into marketing, and we would not have been able to fight the resulting crash. So if there's any other lesson I had, I would have wished I had saved some more of that money when the market was crashing. It's kind of, we got to keep marketing, got to keep marketing, got to keep marketing. At some point, the downward, how to assess the selling pressure and when it's worth to actually pour marketing dollars against it needs to be assessed. And that takes some science. There's a bit of science involved on it. So now I know what to look for.
Awesome. So yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at is you've learned through trial and error. Like you said, you've been through the fire. So
Yeah,
that's
we've been
that
through
is
the
a
ups
good
and
thing.
downs. We've been through all the bull markets, the bear markets, and we've all seen the same shit. And like I said, I've been in this since 2017. I've seen I've seen a lot of good projects. I've seen mostly bad projects, and you learn. And I've learned from watching all these bad projects, not knowing, how to manage a community, how to put out a good project, how to put out a good looking project. And that was the first and foremost thing for me is I don't think, in my opinion, it was very strong. I didn't want to go forward with this if I didn't think we had the best looking branding out there with this project. because branding is everything. Let's cut all the bullshit with utility and what the contract does. That's great. But the first and foremost thing that these DGens see is a logo, is what is that picture they want to attach themselves to? What do they want to, put their, what's that expression? Their cart to? What do they want the horse to the cart, And that was the main thing for me, is nailing down this logo that people would just want to just tattoo to their face, which I will. I want a tattoo. I do have tattoos, but I do want to tattoo this thing. But it's if we hit a certain market cap, but that's a whole other thing. And that was just so important to me, because me being a marketing guy, the front end imagery was so important. But I knew that wasn't enough. And so what you just heard from these guys, Marshmallow and Lightspeed, they were the icing on the cake. These guys were the final factor to make this the perfect freaking DeFi project for the community. And, I hope everyone, from what you heard, you guys could believe in us and give us a chance, take us a look, join our community on Telegram. I think our link's in the chat here. And because, we're excited. We can't wait, to let this horse out of the barn for you.
Now, one quick question. You guys have, the reward system, you've got the staking. Is there any plans for any future developments, moving forward? Anything in the works?
Yeah, I think you want to touch on what we have. We just added to our white paper for was it this quarter and the next quarter?
Yeah, we one of the aspects that we want, and I use the philosophy called token optionality when we come to discussing utility, because one of the things that is utility is how the token gets used. And a lot of people don't look at it that way. They look at what's your product. Nike sells shoes. Well, they're not going to sell just one pair of shoes. They got a variety of shoes in their brand. Likewise, we want the token to be able to be plugged in as many places as possible. It could be a liquidity pool on a centralized exchange. It could be on a decentralized exchange liquidity pool. It could be, for example, to use a chat to earn system, which is what we're going to implement in this next quarter. We're going to implement a chat to earn system as a utility where individuals set up an account with a partner we're going to be an early adopter of, and people then go out. If they're shilling or engaging on Twitter and our tags are being recorded and used, then we will sprinkle you with a little bit of Venom to say thank you for engaging and participating in the community engagement. So chat to earn is one of them. Another example is Ivan Pay. These guys are really starting to balloon this year. I've been watching them now for about a year. They're up to 500 point of sale systems, 20 specialized ATMs where I saw one guy swipe and rented out his Lambo at Abu Dhabi. So the token itself can be used as a commodity, as a currency. So that is one I'm looking around Q3 to team up with Ivan Pay, so that if someone wants to spend their Venom, they could. I think it's worth teaming up with that team further down the road when the project's more mature and we're at higher market caps. But those are two examples, and we're going to keep looking at places we can plug the token in to be used.
Awesome. Okay. Now, I guess if they did decide to spend some of their Venom and it was coming out of their wallet, that would kind of cut them out of the, the zero buy tax after that.
Yeah, but then they get a product or something in return, right? So you're buying something, so you're getting something in exchange. And fast way to off-ramp your money into a product as well, all in one fell swoop.
Now, can you tell us, is Ivan Pay, do you have to KYC for that?
Good question. I am going to say there probably might be for anything over a certain dollar figure. Universally, it's been around the $500 mark where the AMC the anti-money laundering things kick off. But I'll go back to the team and I can give you a response if you want.
Okay, yeah, I mean that would be great.
Guessing a little bit.
Everybody's always looking for off ramps. So,
Yeah.
And if you guys are utilizing this, this could potentially people could potentially invest in Venom to use that as an off ramp as well.
Yeah, and by being a part of it, you're not limited to just that token, right? You become eligible to use any
Right.
You might have your Bitcoin or your Ethereum, so more perks.
Yeah, definitely. All right, man. So got some things in the fire, some irons in the fire, and you've got a pretty
We're red hot, man. We're ready to go.
Pretty kick-ass reward system from the sounds of it.
Yep. This is all about the community. Community first, quality over everything. And like I said, if your community likes what you guys hear, please join our community. We got the public sale coming May 10th. Launch on Uniswap May 15th. So let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. And what kind of marketing plans do you guys have for the launch and the public sale, just to get it kicked off? Do you have anything special you're working on for marketing?
Yeah, lots more and more AMAs, more big time Telegram call channels, Twitter influencers. And we're just, what it is? There's so much stuff out there, and it's like, hey, we could do this package for you. We could have this marketing plan for you for Venom, but we're filtering out we're trying to filter out as best we can all the nonsense out there. So
yeah.
That's what we have a big plan, and that's what we're working on right now. Is just it's just working out what we feel will work the best for the community, and for the project. So it's just every day I'm getting hit up with all these scammers and everyone who thinks they have the best.
Let me market your project, sir.
Yeah, exactly. It's nonstop. So that's what the most frustrating thing about this is finding out who's actually legit and who's not. So,
Well, I'm glad you guys reached out and you picked Astronaut Lounge to come in.
Yeah, you guys have been great. Too. Poppa, you've been great, man. I really appreciate all the support you provided, man. So that's been great.
Of course, man. Let me open this up real quick for any questions in the community. I see one hand up. Let's see. Benjamin, you have a question?
Hi, right.
Good, man.
What's up, Ben?
How's it going? How's it good? I just wanted to say, first of all, I obviously you guys have reached out to myself about our checkout, but ignore that for a fact. I go into hundreds and hundreds of AMAs listening to projects and to sort of vet them out, sort of thing. And you've hit pretty much everything perfectly when it comes to a project launching, to vesting, market cap size, reward system, having an audit before launch. It just ticks all the boxes. And listening to you guys now, you guys have been spot on. Even though you don't know who I am, I'm very proud of you, because the amount of hundreds and hundreds of AMAs I have to go through and listen to projects just to vet them, you guys have performed really good today. So today I was actually just listening to you guys because of my checkout, but now you've got yourself a holder coming in your way as well.
No, that's amazing to hear, Benjamin. I really appreciate that, Benjamin. You just made my day, bro. You made my day listening to that. I really appreciate that, brother, because that's exactly the kind of feedback we want to hear.
It's very rare I actually invest in projects from AM. You have no idea the amount of AMAs. I fall asleep after 5-10 minutes, or I just turn off, or I put my phone down, or whatever, and I just stay in the room because I have to vet them to make sure they're legit. I've listened to every single word you've said, and I've enjoyed the whole thing. I did get very excited when you said 7 times. I was like, oh, and I think everyone in the room was the same thing. They're like, oh, 7 times her bag. Oh, this is good. But obviously, it
No,
was. But
I was
that's
actually, I was actually getting a little bearish when I was thinking it was going to be
I know.
seven
Like,
X the bag.
no, I was like, even if it drops 7 times, that's 28,000 market cap, and it's never going to hit that low. And I was working all my calculations out. I was like, this is
Right.
amazing. And
No, that's awesome. And I feel what you meant, Benjamin, because it's like I've been in so many AMAs that were just boring. They're snooze fest, and I didn't want to do that here, man, because our team is all about being practical, and just there's a favorite band of mine called Metallica, and I just recently listened to an interview from their lead singer James Hetfield, and one of the things he said was, if you lead with your heart, you can't go wrong. And that's what I want to do here with the community, because I just want to, I don't want to bullshit anybody here. And, and I just want to be completely real. And our team, we want to be completely open and honest with what we're doing, and no false promises like that. So it's all about quality. And to
Yeah.
hear you say that, it really means a lot to us, because that's what it's all about.
It's just important for me as an investor, as what I call a real investor, not someone trying to jump on a meme coin, trying to get 100x pump. For me, it's always about long-term investment. To a project to come out and go vesting. Now, 90% of people go, "Oh my God, I don't want investment." You have no idea how important it is for a project to have vesting, because it gives you guys time to build your products out without people dumping their bags on day one. And the amount of projects that launch on day one without any vesting, like, let's be honest, 99.9% of them do that. And day one, it pumps for like 3, 4, 5, whatever, and then it just plummets after that. And then the team got no money to do anything. You guys have thought of every nick and cranny, it sounds like, and you guys are well educated. And overall, me being honest here, you will do very well from crypto.
Awesome. I appreciate that. I mean, yeah, like I said, we're a
Turn
team
him
full of
into a
nerds.
listener. Turn him from a listener to a shiller. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Because it's
Nice.
very rare.
All right.
I get
Let me.
Good.
We've got some other hands up. Let me pop one more up here. Waterman, you can go ahead and speak now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Slimer and Brian, really an awesome job you guys have been doing. I've been in Venom for a while, almost about a week, seeing the power of Venom, seeing a lot of things going on, man. It's really a great job. That's cool, man. I just want to know, because I heard you talking about your marketing strategy. You have started doing some marketing on Twitter page.
Yes.
So it's really a good idea. So I just want to know, like, because I usually go through Venom Twitter page, seen a lot of videos about Venom on Twitter page, mostly, and I try looking into YouTube channel and never come up with anything like and touching with Venom on YouTube. So do you guys have like implementations of putting Venom videos on YouTube for YouTube users to
Yes,
also take it?
absolutely.
Awesome,
We've had a YouTube account for a while. We have our initial hype video posted onto our YouTube. It is a social on our website too.
Actually, the YouTube link is in the link tree. I'm grabbing it right now.
Yeah. And in regards to YouTube marketing, you got to be very, very careful, guys, when you look at the crypto YouTube influencers, because most of their metrics, they're all bullshit and bought. So like I said, we have to be very careful with who we choose we want to market with, because it's got to be worth it for the community, because there's just so many
Oh,
fake
absolutely.
crypto YouTube influencers out there, but we do have our own YouTube channel out there, with our project overview video on that. So
Yep,
That's cool.
So we
Brian
are,
beat me to the
yeah.
That
punch there.
that's really cool because a lot even on Telegram group, mostly a lot of group nowadays are dealing with people reported. No, you can see even in the group you can see about 5,000 members, and check it out. Almost all of them are botted. So this is one of the reason why Venom needs to be careful with kind of marketing. But I really like the idea of you guys sharing Venom on Twitter page because even a friend of mine see something like this. He don't know about crypto, but he really want to have more idea of what he see on YouTube. So it's really a great idea. Keep the good work going. I'll keep on following up. So like I meet the 100x I want, man. Nice job, man.
Thank you, Water, man. Really appreciate that. And you know what? We like I said, the community it's a two-way street for us. So if you guys feel that we need to go a certain route with a certain YouTube uh, marketing platform or a Twitter platform, let us know in our community group. Let us know because we could go for it. We have the resources. Um, we could afford whatever marketer that you guys support or feel would benefit the project and the community. So, and we're all about that. So, we appreciate any kind of feedback you guys have for the marketing campaign because a lot of projects, they just do their own thing with marketing. They don't care about what the community thinks. They just go with like,
Well,
oh, well, this guy. Yeah, we
we've got
appreciate
some
whatever you guys think would be valuable.
marketing big dogs that have been in here listening. We've had Blockchain Brothers in here listening the whole time.
Oh, we got
So,
blockchain, bro. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
I think
yeah, Blockchain
we have a
Brothers.
call. We have a call with them right after this. There you go.
Yeah, we do.
well, Dane was here the whole time. He might be he might have hopped out to get ready for the call, but Mateo's right here. I didn't see ISO come
Mateo.
in, but
Yeah, I'm here. I think it was a good AMA, guys, and I'm really excited to have a word with the Venom team and see what we can achieve with each other. Yeah. Thanks.
Absolutely.
yeah, let's fucking go. I see. I didn't even know. Now I'm a little bit more bullish. So yeah.
Yeah. If the Astronaut Lounge endorses those guys, and hey, that's better. I look forward to speaking to them even more.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%, bro. 100%. I definitely endorse Blockchain Brothers.
Yeah,
So
we got a meeting with them right after this AMA to discuss how we can take our marketing not just through to a great public sale and launch, but a post-launch marketing strategy as well, and that
yeah.
involves a whole new level of thinking. So we
Well,
need people.
yeah, and they provide much different service than what your regular marketers do. It's fluid marketing. It's reactive marketing. So you guys will be definitely in good hands if you do go that route, and I hope you do because obviously I think that it's definitely beneficial, not just going with the standard, okay, well, you just get this, do this, do this. Now these guys will stay on their toes and react to certain situations or whatever. I know how they work, so yes, I fully endorse it.
Awesome. Great to hear. Can't wait.
Can I
All
just
right, all right.
interrupt 1 second?
Carmelo, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Slammer, listen, if you guys looking for any kind of like community engagement activities, we have our NFT talk races. It will be a lot of fun. We do it with like different lounges and so on and so forth. And yeah, it will be fun to have a discussion too and make some races. It's risk free. It doesn't cost you anything. And we can make some NFT races together.
Okay. Anyone? I appreciate that. And any information you have, just please send it to Brian on the call, our project lead.
Yeah, send it to me. I'm here.
He'll go over it.
Hey, Brian, I
All
will
right,
send it.
all right.
Thank you, Papa.
All right. Are there any other questions from the community? Not, I will let these guys go so they can go jump on the other call.
Well,
all right, man. Hey, guys, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you giving my community the chance to, get in on and fill the rest of the private sale. And
I appreciate
I'm
that.
definitely looking forward to seeing how the public sale goes and launch. I will be I'll be buying launch myself, so
Awesome. That's great to
definitely
hear.
looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Papa, for having us, man. Thank you to your community for listening to us for the past hour and a half or so. And like I said, guys, if you like what you hear, you want just give us a check out, join our community, and we look forward to doing big things for you.
Awesome, man. All right, guys. Thank you. It's been another awesome AMA at Astronaut Lounge. Everybody, please go and hit all the socials. Go join their Telegram. Hit up their Twitter, YouTube. Everything's on the LinkedIn. You can find all the links there. And thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you, Papa. And I appreciate having the support of another Carolinian. So that adds to my excitement.
Nice.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, it's been a good AMA.